What are the few common causes of unemployment? We can take a look at four common causes here. Number one, job searching and matching. It does take time to find a job and for employers to find the right employees. This is probably the most common cause of unemployment that we have nowadays. So suppose that you're fresh out of college, you're looking for a job. Why may you not take the first job that comes your way, the first job offer that comes your way? And the answer is because it might not be the best fit for you. Basically, it just says that, hey, you want to go ahead and see what your different options are. You're not going to go ahead and take the first job that comes your way because there can be many more opportunities out there for you. So you searching for the best job, for the best fit for you is going to be some cause of unemployment. Also, it goes in terms of the firms and corporations as well. Why may they not hire the very first person that they interview? And for the same reasons, because they don't believe, they may not think that the first employee they interview is going to be the best fit for them. So they have to go through the entire interview process, take a look at a lot of different people to find the best fit for them. So just this time, in order to find the best job for the employees and for the employers, is going to take a little bit of time, and the time that it takes for the employees to find a job and so forth is going to be a cause of unemployment. Number two is something known as the efficiency wage, where wages are kept above market equilibrium to reduce turnover and to improve productivity. So we have a choice, firms and corporations have a choice in choosing what to pay their employees. They can either pay them, say, the equilibrium wage, which may be the minimum wage, or they can pay them a little bit of a higher wage in order to induce some type of productivity and efficiency gains. So suppose that you are a manager of a firm or corporation and you have the decision on whether or not you can hire two individuals that are not very productive or one individual that is very productive and very efficient. But in order to lure the highly efficient worker, you have to pay them an efficiency wage or a higher wage. If you want to go ahead and hire the two unproductive workers, you can hire them at the lower equilibrium wage. And if you go ahead and decide to pay an efficiency wage to your worker to get that higher worker, that means you're only hiring one person instead of the two people at the lower equilibrium wage. So hiring one person instead of two people, once again, that is going to be a cause of unemployment because you're trying to attract the highly qualified employees, the best type of people to work at your firm or corporation. And in order to do so, you need to pay higher wages, and that's going to lead to some unemployment because you can't hire everybody. Third are going to be high minimum wages. So if wages are too costly, then hiring is likely to be reduced. And we hit on this in the previous chapters with price ceilings and price floors. What did we say the minimum wage was going to act as? Was it going to act as an effective price floor or an effective price ceiling? So here we have price, we have quantity, and remember that the supply and demand in this instance in the labor market, we find ourselves on the supply side because we're supplying our labor, while firms or corporations are going to find themselves on the demand side. So if we have a minimum wage, is this a price floor or is this a price ceiling? And if you remember the discussion that we talked about, it is seen as an effective price floor. So effective price floor. And that's exactly what the minimum wage is going to be led to us. So minimum wage. So here at intersection of supply and demand, this is going to be the equilibrium wage according to the market based on the supply and demand analysis that we've done. But remember, the government comes in on issues of fairness, and they say, hey, we believe that the wage rate is going to be too low, so we want to raise the wage for the workers here. So we're on the supply side, so we're very happy in this instance. But anytime prices or wages go above what is considered to be seen in equilibrium, what is that going to do? It's going to lead to a surplus. So here, remember, we hit the demand curve first, and we hit the supply curve next, which tells us that QS is bigger than QD. And if this is going to be the case, we notice that, hey, we have a surplus of workers. We have a surplus of workers. So there are more people willing to work compared to the demand there are for these particular workers. And here, this is exactly what we consider to be some type of unemployment. Anytime we have a surplus of workers or surplus of laborers, that is unemployment for us. And then finally here, the last common cause of unemployment that we're going to have is the business cycle. So recessions reduce consumer demand, leading to layoffs. So we have the ups and downs of the business cycle, and typically when economic times are tough, when we enter into some type of recession, businesses need to cut costs, and the easiest way for them to cut costs is to go ahead and go about with some type of layoffs. So they fire workers, tightening their belts, making sure that the business operations can be afloat during this tough economic time. And when people get laid off, that of course is going to be seen as unemployment.